Say cheese. What's going on, everybody? It's Q Jackson, host of BLK Talk. Look, I was over here preparing for another amazing episode, but look, I need you guys to go ahead and hit the subscribe button, the like button, and the notification bell so that you guys don't miss any of our amazing conversations. Have a new episode coming to you in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What's going on, everybody? It's Q Jackson, host of BLK Talk, and I am excited because this conversation is about to be not amazing, but wealthy. Yeah, that's the word. This interview has been a long time coming with somebody that I have known for a very long time. This man has been speaking positivity into people's lives, into my life. There are certain words that I don't use anymore, and I don't think he realizes that. However, we are going to have that conversation today. Welcome to BLK Talk, Mr. Billionaire P.A. What's up, brother?
I'm happy to be alive.
I know that's right.
And if nobody told you today, I appreciate your existence.
I appreciate your existence. I appreciate this space. I appreciate this day. And I appreciate whatever is in that box.
I know it ain't Christmas, but you are a gift every day.
Now let's see what's in here. Let me go ahead and open this before we get started.
Yeah, you just
so beautiful. I'm trying to see it.
You know, a lot of people live in the past, and some people live too far in the future. But the only thing that exists is the present.
Yes.
And we gotta open our gifts while we here living.
Come on now.
Yes, sir.
I appreciate your
existence.
See the
vibrations.
I like this.
Absolutely.
Man, you ain't playing.
Nah, man.
So while I'm opening this, tell the people about you, Billionaire P.A. Now I know, like, when people Billionaire P.A., what is that? There's a meaning behind it, and I would love for you to share with the people.
Well, the meaning of everything in life has to have a significant meaning. And I feel like a lot of people never reach their level of success because they never define what success is to them. And the reason why a lot of people don't define what success is to them is because they don't even have a clue who they are in life. So when you talk about my name, the definition of why I actually named my name to be Billionaire P.A. is because my dream is to inspire 1 billion people to speak their dreams into existence. I walk, sleep, breathe this message. Anybody that knows me personally, the PA stands for I used to be a production assistant. And I wanted to always remember where I came from. A job title does not justify your success, so you have to be careful how you treat people. And a lot of people, not just in Atlanta, not just in LA, not just in New York, because people always say Atlanta, LA, everybody got scammers, everybody got bad people. You know, I choose to take my energy and seek for the good people in whatever city I'm in. You know, I know where the devil at, but that don't mean I have to go sit there with him and eat dinner with him. There's a devil in every state.
That's true.
So for me, I just moved to Atlanta to live out my purpose and live out my dream, which is to inspire billions of people to speak their dreams into existence, not just here in Atlanta, but touching as many people as I can in Atlanta and spreading out.
So what I feel is that you are probably there because you started Wealthy Minds, which we'll talk about, in 2008. Right?
Yeah,
it is. 2008. So that's 16 years.
Absolutely.
Okay, so 16 years of inspiring and speaking into people. Like, I know the way you are, you definitely done hit almost 1 billion.
I'm pretty sure. You know, I really don't even count. It's really a blessing. When you can wake up, I say it like this. And I'm just giving you an authentic answer. I wrote the quote, I speak dreams into existence when I was homeless in the back of my truck. And then I went through a phase in my life where I felt like I was misleading people. Because on my journey, my sister passed away at 37 from a massive heart attack. My granddad passed away. I was on house arrest for like 2 years, and when my sister passed away, I couldn't get home to my mama to help her. And so I was just thinking, like, we work hard to accomplish all these money goals, get this big old house, but what good is it to have a mansion if you don't have somebody in there to make it a home? What good is it if you go get a Lamborghini, but you don't have the right people riding for you or with you? So I started to think, it's cool to speak dreams into existence, but what if I help people to discover their purpose. Because a lot of people don't actually live their purpose because they don't know what it is. Like, this is what the universe created me to do. I feel it, I know that. I don't need no co-signments from people, I don't need no motivation. You know, but a dream is I want to get that mansion with 63 houses. That's just a dream. But what if I died today? I know the type of person I am. I would get up there in heaven and I'll be arguing with God. Like, man, I wasn't done.
Yeah. give me a couple more years.
I had some more things that I was trying to do. I didn't get the car I wanted. And I just started thinking, I was like, man, I should live like my grandmama. And that's where it brought me to the quote, impact over income. And every day that I wake up, I want to be a light in people's life. And that's why I passed the sticker out that say, I appreciate your existence and this is my purpose. And I say, if nobody told you today, I appreciate your existence. And that right there touched a lot of people, man. Like, I could go on and on, bro, but the other day, giving you a short story, there was this, just give you, I just moved to Atlanta. And one of my friends, we went out. And my friend was just being transparent. They're the type of person that want all the attention on them when it's just one-on-one. And so she was like, you know, I'm the type of person, when I go somewhere, anybody that know me know, I'm gonna talk to everybody there. She don't like that. So I was just shaking. She was like, you just can't do it. And I said, no, I can't. I gotta go talk to people. And we had that conversation. She said, why do you always do that though? And I was like, it's just who I am, and I don't ever want to confine myself to and restrict myself from not being who I actually am. That's just what I like to do. That is who I am. Like, these clothes that I got on, these clothes don't make me, I make these clothes. You know what I'm saying? I make them fit me. Like, this is who I am. The colors in this house, this is who I am. And then 10 minutes later, we leave the place, get in the car, we drive to the red light. And I'm sitting there and see this black homeless dude, he's sitting on the corner. And I'm sitting there shaking, like, thinking like, you know how you have this thought where you think about what people gonna say about you if you do something. And I'm just like, you know what? I just wanna live my purpose. And I said, hey man, I don't got no money, but if nobody told you today, here. So he came to the car and he got the sticker, he read it. He was like, oh, I appreciate your existence. And you know what the man looked at me and said? The man said, thank you, man. Because of it, he said, I was actually about to jump out in front of the next car. And this message just saved me. And I sat there and I said to this man, I was like, you know, I don't want to just talk at you, but if you had a message for me, because I like to reciprocate, what would you say to me? And he says, the message I would say to you is, don't ever let anybody stop you from doing what you're doing, because you definitely just saved a life. Wow. And my friend heard the conversation. Wow. If that wasn't the universe speaking, that happened within 10 minutes of her saying, why do you always walk up giving that to people?
And now she has.
And she saw it, and she literally, when we pulled out, she was like, you are literally walking in your purpose.
And what I want to know, to get to the point that you've gotten to where you're aiming to inspire and speak to over 1 billion people, what things did you go through in life to get you to that place? Because I know there's a turning point for a lot of us where we finally discover what that purpose is, and then we start moving in that direction.
I mean, one thing in particular that I went through in my life is I went to jail over 20 times before I was 21. And, you know, I went to jail for drugs. I went to jail for assault charges. I went to jail, like, on men, like fighting. And I went to jail so many times. One time that the judge had literally said, you have a problem with going to jail only on the weekends. And so he basically made me turn myself in every Friday at 5 o'clock, and I got out every Sunday at 5. So he took my weekends away from me. So, and then I had to go to school the other day, so I really didn't have too much time to get in trouble. But yeah, while I was in jail one time, my grandmother said, those people may have your body, but they don't have your mind. And that's where the birth of Wealthy Minds came from. You know, these gold bars right here represents me being behind jail.
Like this entire wall.
Yeah, this whole thing is like an inspiration of where I came from. I'm from Alexander City, Alabama, and this is where I came from. And I went to jail in like Texas, North Carolina, and Alabama. And this represents where I was at, like the over 20 times that I went to jail. Then I slept in a truck for 3 years. I slept in that truck for 63 straight days but I was homeless for 36 months. So that just means after the 63 days, I slept wherever I could because my car ended up getting towed, that particular truck right there. And I didn't have the money to get the truck back. I worked hard, cut some grass, babysitted some people's children, did whatever I could. Worked in a store called Franco Umo in San Jose, because I was homeless in Oakland by Jack London Square, in San Jose and San Francisco on the pier. But that's where I birthed my whole life. I mean, I guess everybody got a story. My story is so intense, I don't even know where to start. I mean, my mom got hit by a drunk driver. They told her she would never walk again. She held my hand and she was like, if I walk, you better fly. She walked.
And now you're out here flying.
That's why I don't know, nothing nobody tells me stops me.
Have you gone back to the judge that took your weekends and told him how you've been inspiring other people?
I don't even remember the judge's name. I don't. That's how many times I was in court. I mean, but I ain't gonna lie to you, who wanna remember them?
I mean, but honestly, when it comes to things like that, for it to be a change in your life, some things you'll never forget.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, you're talking about at a time in my life where one case in Texas, I was facing 5 years for drugs. I don't remember that judge's name. Then I went to Alabama, I was facing 3 years for conspiracy. And I was seeing so many judges, I couldn't even remember. I don't remember one of them. To be real with you, I mean, my life was so chaotic, and I just paint the picture. I had suicidal thoughts most of my life, and I battled with depression so bad that all I wanted to do was sleep with as many women as I could and make as much money as I could. That was my drug. I never did no drugs. I never was no alcoholic. My drug was just numb to. I felt like my mom didn't love me, so how could another woman love me if my mama don't tell me? So the way I suppressed it was I just be sexual, and after having sex with you for 2 times, I'm not interested.
So when it came to overcoming that drug and putting your focus somewhere else, what was that turning point like?
Well, for me, I can't say that I ever overcome anything, and I cannot say that I am fully healed. ED. I'm always in a healing ing state.
Okay.
And when we say that, I don't say I've overcame my depression. I've just learned how to manage it.
Okay.
I've sat with myself so much that I know that when I feel sad or down, let me go get in an Epsom salt bath. Let me take me some herbs and put them in the bath. Let me go walk and let me meditate. And this is where it's important to have people who are really your friends. So when you are down, it's good to be human and not have positivity, toxicity, and act like everything just supposed to be positive and say, today's just not my day. And they don't call me, they don't hit me with, well, you the world changer. Well, you this. It's like, I got friends that just know he's human too. What about the motivators? Who motivates them?
Like they say, you gotta check on your strong friends.
Yeah, you do, because they battle with it the most. Everything, like that thing where they talk about projection, everything that 90% of the stuff that I do in my business is I'm projecting onto other people. The love that I give people is the love I always wanted. That's just it. I'm true, I'm honest about it.
I've noticed that a lot of us in life, the way that we act in this world is pretty much us acting in a way that we want people to act toward us. I feel like I give because, I would hope that people would do that for me. But, life is life. So for you, there are a few words that mean a lot to you in terms of the way that you shape your mind. There are a few words that you don't use. I think don't is one of them.
Yeah, D-O-N''T.
We have, busy is one of them.
Yeah, B-U-S-Y.
What's that? It's
T-R-Y.
Okay, and?
B-R-O-K-E.
Okay, now why are those 4 words the most important in shaping your mindset?
Well, the subconscious brain is more powerful than the conscious brain. And I can tell you that I love you, but what matters the most is what you told yourself. So I ask you, do you love you? When it comes to my mom, I ask her, every dollar that I make, that's all for my dream. What is your dream? Because my dream is not to just sit here and take care of you, you know? And a lot of people, that has really brought me and my mom closer because it has helped us to really understand each other that, you know, I have my own purpose in life and you should have yours. I understand you want to see me be successful. Like any mother would want that, I know that. But I also want you to live your purpose too. I also know that God and the universe created you to have a dream. And if you feel that all that was to create your children, hey, I support that too. But you know, I just want my mom, I'll say it like this. On this journey, bro, I've learned how to remove expectations of humans. And when you remove expectations, you make room for gratitude. Mm-hmm. So just because my mother had me, I don't expect her to take care of me. And just because she may deem in her eyes that I've made it, I'm not expected to take care of her. Right. It's an honor and it is a pleasure to have a mother like that. And I'm just grateful to be able to do it for you. But whenever you expect it from me, you start to feel entitled. And I feel like that's the society we live in nowadays, where so many people are entitled to things that really ain't theirs. And you know, to let people know, you know, how much they should be entitled. It's like this body right here, I don't even own me. So how somebody else gonna marry me and tell me they own me? You want me to tell you how I know I don't own me? How so? I cannot tell you the day that I'm gonna die. Now, do you think I really wanna die? No. So the universe has allowed me the opportunity and the pleasure to rent this body. And it's up to me to cherish this temple, decide who I want to spend my time with, who I want to sleep with, who I want to deal with. I have all those options that I can do what I want to do with this temple. But when God is done with me renting this body, it goes back to the earth.
I never thought of it like that. So that's why people say when it's important how you spend your time. It's important what you put in your body, what you put in your brain, your ears, and things like that. That makes a lot of sense. And in these 30-something years of life for me, I've never heard it put that way, but that makes so much sense.
Yeah, it's like I was looking at a post the other day, right, and of you, and I think it was your dad, and you had a brother, and I could just feel the love from the video. You know, I could feel the energy. I want to say it was your dad's birthday.
Yeah, last month.
He turned like what, 70 or
70
or something. You see, I pay attention.
Yeah.
So I could feel the energy, and I want to say this: everybody on earth has a father, and everybody on earth has a mother. But I know that God created the mother that I have for me. No other mother could have dealt with me because I know how difficult it was to raise me. That's the perfect person who taught me unconditional love, who taught me how to forgive. I just feel like anybody else would have gave up. And I say that to say that's the energy I felt from just looking at you and the energy with your father. I feel like that without me never meeting him or nothing, you know, people are like, I had a friend the other day say, how could you tell people you love them to life and you never met them? I said, I don't know. How do people pray to Jesus and they never met him? You just have faith and you have a spirit. So
people oftentimes say, I love you to death, but I love you to life. For you, what does that mean to you and for the people that you're saying it to?
I wrote the quote, I love you to life, because my 7-year-old sister, Quinwana Vanche Blair, got hit by a drunk driver and the drunk driver killed her. When she died, we went to the funeral. A lot of people brought her flowers. They gave her nothing when she was alive, including myself. I wanted to change my mindset of buying people stuff when they die. And black people, I don't want to like frame it and just say black people, but I have to because I have never spent that much time around white people, Asian people. I've only spent most of my time around black people, so black people is really all I really know. Right. As far as, do I know what white people do? Yeah. I think we got the dopest culture ever. I think we got the dopest people ever. So I tend to spend my time with the dopest people to
There
be.
you go.
But a lot of times we're just desensitized to negativity. Like it's almost like we can be negative and don't even know we're negative because we're so used to it. We so like people can go through 6 deaths to the point where they don't even cry anymore. That's really sad. And so for me, when I went through the death of my cousin, who I call my sister, I said, Grandma, everybody bought her flowers when she died, but they didn't get her nothing when she was alive. So I said from then, I changed the quote to from I love you to DEATH to I love you to life. Because we should be giving people their flowers while they're alive. We should be giving people their murals while they're alive. You know, these are just how I personally feel. I think that Nipsey Hussle, for example, was an amazing individual whose mural should have been painted while he was alive.
While he could see it.
I think that Martin Luther King was such an amazing person that his streets that is named in most of the cities, he should have seen those streets. He should have walked on those streets. I feel that, you know, I'm honored and grateful to be on that street, but I didn't do the work. I'm grateful for what he did.
Yeah.
But I just feel like, why do we have to wait till Black people die to do that? And hence, that's why I do the dream walks. You know, I'm probably one of the fewest people that has murals in a lot of states that I am living. That means a lot to me. People don't even know that they don't even know what I'm doing. They're like, oh, are you selfish? It's like, a part of me, yeah. Because the opposite of selfish is to think less of yourself.
See, selfish to me, in a lot of instances, means self first.
Yeah.
Like, because truth be told, a lot of people in life are not going to honor you how you should honor yourself. So it's okay to be selfish. Because selfish, put yourself before you put everybody else. And it's okay.
Absolutely. It's just like in the credit world, you got good debt and you got bad debt. So you have a healthy way of being selfish. You have an unhealthy way of being selfish. I choose to be a healthy way. Like if I'm in a relationship, or I tell my mama, your dream don't come before mine. I don't have a problem saying that to her because that is your responsibility. That's not my responsibility. I don't want to take on more than I can't afford to. I don't want your dream in my hands. That's your dream. And I don't have a problem being that authentic and saying it in the most respectful way to her because I want you to know that you have the energy. You got the same God that I got. They gave you a similar brain as me.
And the same 24 hours. And
get your butt up and manifest your dreams.
Yeah, you know, this is a conversation that I often have with my mother as well because, you know, she's recently retired and I'm like, Mom, like you got to, as they said in The Color Purple, which is one of her favorite movies, like you got to get up and get into creation. Like don't just get up every day and watch your stories and stuff like that. Like
Absolutely.
You have a light that the world needs and you need to, you know, figure out what that is. I'll help you, but I want to see you, you know,
and that's the key word.
Yeah.
And I will help my mother, but the dream is yours.
There you go.
The purpose is yours.
All of the people that have, like this Dream Walk's been up 2 weeks, probably about 2 weeks.
Maybe 14 days or less.
And from social media, you guys have to follow him on social media. Like so many people have been here. So for you, what is that experience inviting people into the dream house and speaking their dreams into existence?
The experience of people that walk through those doors is, I don't even know if I have the words to sit here and act like I have the words. Sometimes I just cry on the inside because I've seen fathers and sons come over here and just hug, put them in a vulnerable state where they are able to just communicate and be heard without cussing or yelling. I've seen a woman that came over here who was molested in New York City and was just joyful to be in a position and around people and men where she felt safe, where she could speak her dream into existence. I've seen women who've had miscarriages or women who've been raped and had the child, and I've seen it all, bro. And you know what I'm saying? Sometimes I don't even know what words to even say at the stories that people have been comfortable enough to even share with me. You know, that said a lot about your character.
Yeah.
For people to feel safe to share what they actually been through. And I always tell people, when someone sits and they tell you what they're going through, that's an honor that they trust you. And I think people just take that for granted. You know, it's an honor that I would even sit here and talk about my 7-year-old sister being hit by a drunk driver, as if that still bothers me to this day. But as black men, we always told, don't cry, get over it.
Yeah.
It's gonna be okay. Sometimes we don't want to live. When somebody died, like I don't want to hear the words, it's gonna be okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, I understand everybody has to die, but when it happens to like children, it made me like really question God. And that's why I was atheist for like 21 years.
Wow.
I'm very transparent because number one, God instructed me to be. And number two, everybody got a bag of problems. Everybody's problems just different.
Bag of problems.
So no matter who looking at this video, I don't ask anybody to agree with me. I just being used. Like, I'm running this body, I'm just being used, and the universe is using me to just be transparent and authentically myself. And a lot of people are not their authentic self.
Because that transparency, the vulnerability, it helps somebody else.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, there's so many occasions where I found myself being placed in a situation where it's like, I don't know where it came from. The universe, God, somebody tapped me. It's like, all right, this person needs to hear something that you've gone through, and then come to find out, the person ended up sharing some stuff that they had never told anybody else. And they were comfortable enough to do that based off of what I shared with them. Like, that's an amazing feeling to know. Like, that there's a calling on your life that is meant to not only help you, but the things that you're experiencing in life, you're going through them to share them with somebody else so that they can, get up out of their situation and not experience the same things.
Yeah. Like, man, you know how many people, I'm gonna tell you what this company has really done for me. It has really exposed me to how many people are really suicidal. It has really exposed me to how many people truly battle with depression, but they don't look like it. They look just like me. They got on a nice fitted shirt, they got a nice Rolls Royce, they got a big chain, they got a pretty wife. You never know what people going through, bro. I done seen it all, man. Like, when I tell you I'm blessed that God and the universe trusted me to even birth this message, and I tell people all the time, most of my quotes are my grandmama quotes. You know, she just didn't have the speed to be out in the world. Like, I'm faster than her physically, but she had that wisdom. So I sat in the house and listened to the quotes. But when she died, I took the bottle of motivation and I birthed. I'm in the streets with it now. I don't have to go to a church and be a pastor and not knocking it. I don't have to go to where people think I should, be at sharing my message. Like, right now, I'm on a stage right now. If I go out on the streets, I'm on a stage. I don't have to actually get a TED talk to say, oh, I'm doing a speech.
Right.
You can be a walking, living purpose. And that's what I am.
I love it. So for people out there who are confused, for people out there who don't necessarily know what their passion is, don't know which way to go, like for you, I know you encourage and speak to people all the time. Y'all need to check him out. Like, how can they reach out to you? How can they get in touch with you and, learn more about themselves and speak their dreams into existence and actually figure out what their dreams are?
Well, my Instagram is Billionaire P.A. You can hit me on, if you watch this video, I want you to screenshot it. If you listen to it, screenshot anything in your room that inspires you and tag at Billionaire P.A. And what's your at?
So you guys can tag BLK Talk, BLK Talk Official, BLKTALK Official, or Quintessential One.
And the reason why I ask people to do that is, remember I said my goal is impact over income. I want to see how many people actually take actions behind their dreams, because a lot of people just talk.
Yeah.
And I'm not here to motivate. I don't even call myself a motivational speaker no more.
What do you consider yourself now?
An imperfect world changer.
Imperfect world changer. What does that mean to you?
Hey man, you gonna have one of those Cat Williams interviews. We gonna go viral, y'all. That's the power.
Come on, get us up to past 5 million now. Come on.
Hey, yeah. This gonna be one of the best ones. And all the ones before this was amazing, and all y'all that came before and after, y'all are great and y'all are phenomenal. This was gonna be phenomenal.
This is gonna be the shit.
This man, look, look, I might need to get me a little shot of this wealthy water too. Look, we over here winning. That's what that means. Wealthy and winning.
Yes.
What was the question again?
You know what? I hold on now.
Because I don't forget. I went back to the back of the truck. I was thinking about how when I was home.
You are an imperfect world changer. What does that mean to you?
My grandmama told me a while back. Well, first off, the reason why I changed my name from a motivational speaker is because motivation without instructions is dangerous.
Okay.
People been going to church for a long time. You got some people know every single verse in the Bible, but still can't pay their $700 rent. But they don't like to have true, authentic conversations with themselves. Praying ain't gonna pay the bills. We can pray all day. No one's gonna fall out of that sky and pay your rent and pay your mortgage. You have to really put the actions behind the faith in what you believe in.
Mm-hmm.
You have the power of manifesting anything that you want into existence. I don't even think people really know the power of the words that come out their mouth. In fact, I know they don't.
Because they wouldn't use them if they did.
And some people, failure introduced me to the value of success. So failure doesn't even bother me no more. Sometimes I don't even believe it exists. So when I talk about me being an imperfect world changer, the reason I decided to be an imperfect world changer is because my grandmother told me one time, she said, never allow people to put you on a pedestal. And she said, if they put that ladder right there, these people will build you up. You make $1 million, they'll build you up. You touch 1 billion people, they're gonna build you up. You get a congregation with 10 million people in it or something, they'll build you up. But you gotta always remember the same people that build you up, if they ever get mad at you, they now have the power to kick that ladder off from under you, and just know that's how far you gotta fall. So don't ever allow your pride and your ego, because of how much money you got in the bank, to let someone build you that high. And if you stay on the same level playing field, then when I say I'm an imperfect world changer, if I ever do something that you don't like, I already told you I was imperfect. Mm-hmm. Don't fall in love with me more than the message. The message is to speak dreams into existence. Don't idolize me, idolize that message. Never spend your present time with a person that you don't have a future with. It's okay if your pockets are broke. Just make sure your mind makes sense. That's the most important thing. I just tested positive with MTD, motivated transmitted disease. If you touch me, look at me, email me, or hate on me, I will infect you with motivation. If anyone ever studied my quotes, they would know that every quote started negative.
And you switched that around.
You know why? Because majority of black people's mindset is negative because they come from negative environments. Grandma would say, don't touch the stove.
And what you do?
Touch the stove.
There you go.
We do everything we're not supposed to do. What I've learned is you just gotta allow humans to be exactly who they are. A cheater gonna be a cheater. A stealer gonna be a stealer. It ain't no words that you can tell them that's gonna change them unless they want to change themselves.
Yep. You are absolutely.
You can give them all the motivation in the world.
But it's up to them
to want to do that.
Yep. Now, what I want to know now, you spoke about that ladder and people building you up, and if they get to that place, kicking it from up under you. So how do you feel people should approach situations like that in order to stay humble, pretty much?
Well, for me, I don't like the word humble because I always felt like being humble is a nice way of white people telling you to be grateful for what I gave you and sit your ass down. That's how I've always looked at the word being humble. So I'm not humble.
Guess who now looks at humble a different way?
I'm not humble. I'm not a humble person. I am, because to me, what does the word? Let me just say it this way. To you, what does the word humble mean?
We're gonna insert that definition right below.
Let's look at it like this, right? I'm only speaking from my experience. And I don't want to make it about race, but I'm just attempting to give an example. When it comes to white people who are successful, I've never heard anyone say, Mark Zuckerberg is humble. I've never heard them say any white person needed to be humble. I've never heard them say any Asian person needed to be humble. But when it comes to black people, whenever we get something, you need to be humble. I just feel like that's a nice way of saying, you be quiet and be grateful that I gave you that house and sit your ass down. That's how I received that. Mm. Do you ever hear anybody say Warren Buffett is humble? Mm-hmm. Do you know one white person that people have ever said is humble?
I've heard them say frugal. I've never heard them say humble.
I'm frugal.
Hey, black people. As of today, we are taking humble out of our dictionary. See, you got work to do.
Kendrick Lamar had a song where he said, be humble, sit down. Remember the song?
Yeah. That's the song that actually was playing in my head as we were saying.
He was saying in a song that, from what I got from it, that doesn't apply to me. I'm not humble. Mm-hmm. And I don't mind telling nobody that. I'm not going to go to prison for not being humble.
Right. Yeah.
It's not a crime.
And you're not going to miss out on opportunities because what's for you is for you.
No, the power of manifestation is I can manifest anything that I want to in my existence. Mm-hmm. If I want to get it and be arrogant, you as the people have a decision whether you want to support me or you don't.
But if I worked hard for it and I got it, I'm going to show myself that I appreciate it. So,
see, this is the thing, right? Everybody's views on life is different. I slept in a truck I was homeless 3 years. I was on Facebook, bro, for 3 years, and I posted, I slept in a truck, I'm homeless. I posted how broke I was. I posted how me and my mama had a terrible relationship. I didn't get along with my mom. I didn't say the best things to her. I had the worst attitude, used to cuss my mom out. Say things that I don't even want to repeat now because I care about her feelings enough that I don't even want her to relive it. And, I apologize and I take accountability for those actions because that's not anything I would ever want to say. I don't even want to hear myself saying that to someone again. And so I spent my last years dedicating my life to the people that truly love me. And I have to say this, a lot of times, a lot of people take their problems to the internet. And you have to know when you are depressed or sad who to go to. And it's not the internet for me.
Yeah. Because the people that are looking back, they don't.
People think just because, if you really pay attention to how people communicate, you can say, hey, how you doing? And you know what the average person say? Hey, how you doing? Yeah. Nobody never answers the question. You want me to tell you why? Number one, people are programmed. And number two, they really don't give a damn. Yeah. And you want me to tell you how I know? Because my grandmama told me when someone, don't tell me you love me, show me. Anybody can send a text message and say I love you because it requires no level of confidence. You just fired off. Yeah. But it takes actions to actually show. So a lot of people get offended with me or feel a certain type of way about what I'm saying is because another quote my grandmama would say is, it shouldn't offend you if it ain't true. So if it fits, it must offend you. If you get what I'm saying?
I can't wait this book that you're gonna come out with.
Oh man, I got a lot of books.
You got a lot going on and a lot of things.
There's a lot going on in his head.
And where's the paper? I know you got a notepad or something like that. Are you the type of person that you're in the bed and a thought comes to mind and you have to get up and write?
I've already written 83 books. I've only put out 2 books though. I've written a total of 83 books. The books are done, but I wanted to leave the books for my family.
Okay. So
creating true generational wealth.
Oh, for them to release.
Yeah, so
Okay.
I celebrate my birthday on the 19th of every month. And I've already I've left my niece the rights to all my books. And she will be the one her name is Paris, she will be the one that will pass them down. She is to release a book every 4 years. And if she, as an entrepreneur, doesn't feel that other book has grown to its magnitude, then at that 4th year, she'll wait till the next 4 years. So it could be 4 years, it could be 8 years. Like right now, I haven't had to release another. I released my first book in 2016. The book is still doing so well. Why do I need to release another?
So at this point, Paris needs to live until she's 372 to
but then
put out all of the.
But she takes it and she passes it down. And this is we're going into another thing. This is what's important here. All these types of things are important. Getting life insurance on Paris's life, getting life insurance on my life, getting trust accounts, making sure that she is written into all of the books as she's in the trust accounts, and on top of that, she gets $5 off every book that sells. So she's written into the royalties. Wow. And so, say for example, right? And this is just nobody never taught me business. I taught myself this, and just coming from the streets of just selling drugs, it's like I'm sitting one day and I'm thinking, my family always calling me, asking me for money. How do I get them out of my pocket?
That's a good question.
So, let's say I was gonna sell a book for $50. I took my physical book up to $136.63. Within there, now I can say every book that sells, my mom gets $5. Every book that sells, Paris gets $5. So if I sell 1 million books, how much money does Paris get? $5 million.
Oh yeah, duh. And mama get $5 million too.
So I made it easy for myself. I was only gonna sell the book for 50, but I took it all the way up to 136. So I incorporated them in the cost of my book. You know why? Because they are a part of my story. Yeah. If my mama never gave birth to me, I would have never been an author.
There you go.
So to a certain degree, she is the author of the book too. And my niece is the one that helped me heal my relationship with my sister. It's not that I had a bad relationship with my sister. I just didn't have a relationship with her. I didn't know how to communicate with her. And my little niece would always, call me and say, I see you out there inspiring the world, but don't forget about me now.
That's some words right there.
And she would go to school and she'd be like, what did Uncle do down here when he was young? Like everybody just said he was on one down here. But all I know is the positive side. And my sister would say he's always been positive, but he's never been broke. That boy gonna figure a way out to make money. And that's the best way I can tell you. You know what I'm saying? Before I was doing this positive stuff, look, if a person can sit here and sell dream bands and make a living to live the lifestyle I'm living, you put two and two together.
So anything is possible, and you like I appreciate your existence for real, because you show that anything in life is possible for anybody. You've shown people the beauty in being vulnerable, the beauty in being out here helping people. A lot of people, unfortunately, are selfish in the negative sense of being selfish, because they don't necessarily get out and care about other people in the way that they could. And you've done.
Those people are needed. They're needed.
Okay.
They play a very vital role in the world, in the universe. How would you know that the light existed if you never seen darkness?
And what did you say about failure?
Failure introduced me to the value of success.
There you go. So it makes sense. Thank you all for what you've done.
So you gotta think. Look, let me tell you something. I was talking to my homegirl the other day, and I don't got the answer to everything. Like I said, bro, I used to be atheist. So who do you think? This is my personal belief. I don't think nobody could be a better executor and work for God than a person like me or like us, people who have not believed.
Yeah.
Because I've been the devil and God.
And something had to have brought you back.
You know why I don't want to do negativity no more?
Why?
You can lie to everybody on earth, but the worst lie you can ever tell to anyone is yourself. And you can never lie to God. And there's this thing that's called karma. And you get to make a decision as an entrepreneur. Either you're gonna pay for it or your children gonna pay. But somebody has to pay for bad debt karma. That has nothing to do with humans' existence. That has something to do with the universe. The universe has to pay people back who do bad things. And it also pays good people back for doing good things. That's why people say, God bless me. Mm-hmm. So my friend, this is the part where I say some of my friends, they feel some type of way about this. And I just tell them the truth. My friend said, man, the devil is busy. I never liked that quote. The devil used to be a what?
He used to be a good guy.
The devil works for who?
God, honestly.
The devil is on God's payroll. And the devil cannot do anything that God does not allow. So when I hear a person say the devil is busy, I'm not afraid of the devil as much as I am you. Because you doing something bad, which is why God is allowing the devil to see you. You're just not telling me that side of you.
I'm more scared of you than the devil.
You want me to tell you how I know that? Because when I was doing bad things, the devil was visiting me.
That was you.
But it was really me.
The devil has been all this. Wow.
People don't want to take accountability. Listen to this. If something bad happened right now, who do people blame?
Anybody but themselves.
The devil did it. You even hear people say the devil made me do it.
Oh, yeah.
If something good happened, you make $1 million, the first thing people say is thank God.
Yep.
I'm not telling you don't thank God. I'm being very clear and careful with my words. I'm not telling you not to thank God. But if you listen to both things, people never want to take accountability for nothing.
Yeah.
Now let's be real. Do you think when we get to heaven, you made $1 million and the first thing you said was thank God? Do you think God really cared that you made $1 million? That's not what you're here for. Do you think when you get to heaven, God gonna be like, hey man, you ain't gonna get in because you didn't make $1 million?
It's what you did with that $1 million that they gonna be talking to you about. Did you do good? Did you not do good?
And my grandmother never made more than $75,000 a year. But that doesn't mean she wasn't rich and she wasn't wealthy.
I mean, clearly she was, because all of these quotes that we've been getting today.
I got quotes for life.
I mean, you got 83 books.
I got quotes.
Absolutely.
One of the first things I ever wrote is, even if I was blind, I could have told you my future was bright. Even in the time when me and my mama stayed in fights and we had no lights. From the bottom to the top, all the way from Alabama to California, now to Atlanta, and I didn't even have the money for that flight. Abused and confused, the whole world told me I would lose. Beaten to the point where I would have thought my race was blue. To the point where my mind was left without a clue. I thought love was the most important thing I needed until I found out I had to double my faith. So I challenge you, don't never tell me you love me if you ain't gonna show me. Don't ever tell me and volunteer to me that you're a millionaire if you're not gonna show me. Because once you volunteer information to me, it is now my business. I didn't ask you for that. That's why I never tell people how much money I make. I'm never gonna sell it because it ain't none of their business.
You hear that, reality show stars? Whatever you put out there is now for the world.
Yeah, because it's like you got a lot of people who you see and I don't, like I said, I'm just saying from my experience, Black people believe whatever, if a person pull up in a Rolls Royce, they just believe them. Person pull up in a Lamborghini, a lot of people just take it for face value. And I don't want to say all Black people, but a majority of people, they just give people face value. I don't. I hold people accountable. When you walk into Wells Fargo, you want to buy a house. What they gonna ask you for?
Your credit and your income.
You know that. They don't care what kind of, you pull up in a Honda, you pull up in a Rolls Royce. Why are they fact checking you like that? To see if you are who you say you are.
Checking your credit
and
your
making
credibility.
Sure. Your credibility and making sure. But we don't do that. So when I hear a lot of us say, oh, this person was a scammer, or this person did that. Well, you was with the scammer for how many years?
You reap the rewards of the scam.
So you mean to tell me that you've been with somebody for 2 years and your intuition and discernment never kicked in?
A lot of people's intuition and discernment does kick in,
And they
but
don't
when it's
use it.
benefiting them, they don't. Until like you said, they building that person up. And then when something happens that they don't like, then they kicking that ladder down, and then they're talking mess about the person.
And this is the thing that people really don't want to have conversations for us to grow. I want to have conversations for me and you to grow. I don't want to tear anyone down, but I am going to be authentically truthful and honest. When people come to me and say, you know, hey, so-and-so was talking about you, I'm not really concerned with the statement that you said as much as what make them so comfortable to sit and talk to you about me. I have a different way of thinking. Why they so comfortable with you? Because them the type of conversations, if you're a male and a female, y'all laying in the bed after sex and y'all just talking. Y'all got more going on or something, and you just trying to get more information out of me? That's just how my brain thinks. I'm not saying it's true. But I'm just saying I am using my discernment and my intuition.
Holding people accountable.
I'm the type of person, as soon as you say something like that, let's put everybody in the room. And the person that want to run the quickest without getting in that room, typically be the ones that lie.
Ooh, buddy. This is deep. And I hope that you guys that are out there watching this have received so much information about not only this gentleman, but about what we need to do in life to be better people, what we need to do in life to speak our dreams into existence, and how we can use our story, our whole story in life to inspire other people. Like as you said, I appreciate your existence and learning more about you, you know, every time we have a conversation. Like, I really appreciate that because it motivates me. And I appreciate the person that you are because what's the word I'm looking for? You pay attention. And one of the things that you may not remember, but it had to be maybe about 6-7 years ago, a while ago. We had met at Lennox. I think we had went to brunch or something like that, real quick before you left town or something. And you paid attention to social media because during this time, this was something I was heavy into. And you brought me socks.
Do you like socks?
Love them. Here they are. These are the socks that he got me for years. And they meant so much. Exactly. And they meant so much that they weren't something that I wanted to wear every single day. But I'm like, I had to pull them out today. I'm digging in the drawer like, I need these socks today because I need him to see how impactful he was and how the words that he shares with other people, how people walk with those words every day. Like, I'm walking with these socks. So I appreciate you for real.
You walking in wealth.
I'm walking in wealth, like, for real. So my socks, my shirt, like, it means a lot, and I appreciate it. And like I said, I hope that you guys got something out of this conversation today. But I don't want this conversation to be the end of your connection with this gentleman right here.
You think they'll be inspired?
Absolutely, I know.
You think they're gonna do something with it?
He told y'all what to do.
You want me to give something very specific for people to do?
Yes. Aside from taking a picture of you said
this should be like
that was number one.
This is like if I was the president of anything, this would be required. This would be the black wealth standard. And if anybody else want to add to it, they can. But through my journey in life, I've realized that it's 5 things that black people need to do. It should be required to be black.
Okay.
It should be required. Sometimes you gotta say things that make people feel a certain type of way.
Shock value.
Make them feel uneasy. Like this, I don't care about your feelings right now. You shouldn't even be black if you don't do this. Every black person should have a passport. Okay. Every black person.
I'm black so far.
Every black person on life in this world should have life insurance.
I'm black still.
Would you agree?
Absolutely. I've had these conversations so much.
Because everybody gonna die, right?
Yep.
So Why we still letting people die and don't have no money to bury them?
GoFundMe and fish plates. We're beyond that.
What's the next one? Every black person should have a 700 credit score.
Oh yeah, I'm black too.
Every black person should have a 700 credit score. Every black person should have at least 50,000 to 100,000 in personal credit cards with a utilization under 10%.
Our race card is teetering, but we're working on it.
No, that's okay. That's okay. And the reason that is important is for the next one is every black, not person, but I feel that every black family should have a business.
Mm-hmm.
And every black family should have trust accounts.
Yes, that's it.
And the last one is a nonprofit organization. Now the reason why this is important, they're all tied to each other.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot get business funding without personal credit.
Correct.
Hence why I said you need at least 50,000 to 100,000 so that you can utilize that to go get your businesses funded.
Mm-hmm.
Hence, when your businesses make millions of dollars, you have a nonprofit organization that you can utilize to help you right off.
And this goes to that life insurance as well. You guys need to learn about this, and we'll have some conversations. Hopefully, you'll have some conversations.
I'm still learning this myself, but just through I don't know everything. I'm not super. I know enough to put myself in a position where people are smarter than me. Mm-hmm. When they tell me to get something, I do the research and I get it.
Yeah, the whole life insurance. How you can borrow on the life insurance, but if you're putting money into it, then of course there's more that you can take out of it.
Absolutely.
And a lot of times, what people end up doing is they take that money out and put it into like the trust and stuff like that, to where it keeps building. Like the Rockefellers?
Yeah,
I think it was what John D. Rockefeller did on all of his kids is he got life insurance policies on them. Yeah, they were pulling the money and stuff like that, but when they died, guess what happened? That money went right back into, it wasn't the family, it went into the trust, so people were able to pull from it for generations and generations. That's how his family stayed wealthy for so long, and that's how our families are going to continue to be wealthy by knowledge. So wealthy minds, people.
That list I gave you, your honest answer, just ain't even about the camera. What do you see? Do you think that is something that we all should have?
Absolutely. So the $50,000 to $100,000, that's not something that I necessarily thought about before, but every other thing are things that I've had conversations about within, the last few months with friends and stuff like that. Like I have a homeboy who used to be a client and he used to be a rapper, but then he changed and now he's doing life insurance. So he's been teaching me a lot of stuff. So yeah, these are a lot of things.
And the reason why I say that is because, see, we may mentally we got groups of friends that we think like this. Mm-hmm. But do you know how many black people that I have met that will argue to stay on food stamps? Mm-hmm. They will argue to stay broke. I can't afford a passport. What? You just had sex raw with 3 people.
And you just bought $150 shoes.
No. But that one went, that part that I said, that's another shock value. Let's go over their head. They were like, what? I had sex for free. I'm like, yeah, but you could have caught a disease that cost your life. So you'll risk your whole life, but won't get whole life insurance?
You'll risk your whole life, but won't get whole life.
You already know you setting yourself up. You mean tell me you won't go get a passport that's $135 expedited?
And that's expedited. That means it's probably a little cheaper.
Jesus. And the reason why do you need a passport? So that you can travel. There's no way I could have wrote 83 books sitting in Alabama if that was all my mental experience. I love my city. I love my state. I love Georgia, but I've lived in Miami. I lived in LA. I've been to 46 countries. And I've come to realization that everyone on earth just wants to be appreciated.
Yeah.
No matter what the belief is, no matter whether you straight, whether you gay, whether you green, whether you orange, whether you 6 feet tall and a girl want to 6-foot dude or a 5-foot, 4-foot dude. The 4-foot dude wants to be appreciated.
Yeah.
The 6-foot dude wants to be appreciated. The gay person wants to be appreciated. The straight person wants to be appreciated. The trans wants to be appreciated. The person with freckles wants to be appreciated. And I don't feel that it's too much to show someone appreciation without beating them up for being who they are. Mm. That's just how I think. So like that's why I'm very fluid in my sexuality. I'm very open with my spirit, with who I am. It doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
Like, why would you hate something that you're not?
As long as you know who you are.
Exactly.
That's all that matters.
You have to be be secure. Yeah. Martin Luther King got a quote. My favorite 2 quotes that ain't mine is Martin Luther King got one where, I heard it my whole life, but it never really hit me until like maybe in the last year. Is don't judge people by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. And if you sit back and just watch people, they'll tell you exactly and show you exactly who they are. And it is up to you to believe them.
Yes.
And my other one is by Maya Angelou. I don't want to mess the quote up, but I think the quote goes something like, people may forget what you say to them, but they'll never forget how you make them feel. And if you think about what I just said, that sums up why I walk out and treat everybody the way your existence is appreciated. Because the world do a good talking game, but they don't do enough walking. I'm in the streets with that message. So whether a person agrees with everything that I say, I don't worry about that. Show up in those streets with me, and let's pass out these stickers. Yeah. Let's really help people and show them that their existence is. And it's not about the sticker, it's about the message. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can do 99 amazing things, Q, but people only focus on the one thing they disagree or they don't like about you. And I never understood that. If you make $1 million, you'll have more people that'll tell you, they'll say, what's next? As if that million was easy. Hey man, good job, man. Congratulations, man. Let me give you a hug, man. I'm proud of you. It's like it's a crime for us to be proud of each other. Like, we just want you to already think about the next move. You know what I'm saying? Like right now, when people say, what's next for you? You know what's next? Living in the moment of just appreciating.
And that's what we don't do enough. That is not, we don't do that enough.
Look, I end with this before, because it's just so by heart to really say this when you said something. Most people in this world, they live in the past. The past, and the definition of that is, my daddy wasn't there for me. My mama, she wasn't there for me. She didn't do what I wanted her to do for me. I said, how old are you? I'm 35. This is the reality. The chances is, if your daddy ain't been there for 35 years, you'll probably go another 35 and it won't be there. I'm not telling you to forget the past. I'm not telling you not to grieve about it, but don't live there. And then you got another group of people that live in the future. I'm gonna be a millionaire. I'm gonna be a billionaire. Whether you believe in God or not, what if that's not the universe purpose for you? And you don't make it to that number? Are you gonna feel unfulfilled? So I encourage people, don't live in the past because it don't even exist. And don't live in the future because it don't exist. The only thing that exists right now is the present moment. And so with that said, I appreciate your existence.
And I appreciate yours. And I see you on your next birthday on the 19th of September. You should gather up some people. Get them to come out and walk with you and hit the streets on your next birthday.
Oh, absolutely, we can.
I'll be there. And I appreciate you guys for tuning in to another episode of BLK Talk. All of his information is going to be in the comments. And I appreciate you guys. And speak your dreams into existence. And until next time,
we love you to life.
There you go.